What is up, guys? Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, here to educate you on health and social well-being. As you guys can see, I am back home in the Fort Worth area. If you guys watched my last video, you know that I spent this past weekend in Houston. We just had a really good time with Michael, Russell, Mark, like the entire Houston crew, like those of us who reside here in Fort Worth. Went and hung out with the homies in Houston, and it was just it was an awesome weekend. A great way to start off the new year. A great way to celebrate my birthday weekend. Just like positive energy, because what I'm really trying to focus on this year, guys, is aside from just continue to build myself up and build things up with my coaching business, the YouTube, everything like that, is just trying to, as much as I can, impact others in a positive way, like help put into other people's process. Like, for example, like helping Mark with his video edits by putting his name out there more and getting him to be on this channel more and record more videos, things like that. And it was just awesome, man. I really had a really good time. But now we are back home, and let me get you guys caught up just really quickly. So we did end up leaving Sunday, but before we left Sunday, Michael, Amber, Jasmine, and I, we all got in the bench workout. I worked up to a top single with 335 pounds for a long pause at RP6. And then after that, I made history by stepping out of pocket intentionally for the first time ever. Everyone's had moments where they've accidentally overshoot because they thought something was there but it wasn't, or they misgrew the lift, whatever it may be. But this is my first time. I knew that 335 pounds was my top single RP6, but Brad has been telling me that, hey, when you're feeling really good and a PR is in range, it's okay, push for it, go for it. So I decided to do that. So I loaded up 365 pounds, which is technically 2 pounds over my best ever bench, because I hit 363 at nationals, but this was 365 pounds. But what's really hype about is that I hit it with a long pause. So, as I said, you guys can clearly see that obviously it wasn't the RP6, the 335 was the RP6, but I'm really happy that I went for it. Brad was really happy that I went for it. When I sent it to him, his reaction was quite literally about time, as it's about time I started pushing things. But what's funny is, even when stepping out of the pocket, I was very smart in how I went about it. One, I knew I had 365. I think it's very stupid to push for something unless you know it is there. And even then, I think there's a time and place to do it. With this being the final week of this block before we do the final push into the meet, as well as the fact that it's like my last time having a long pause single on my primary bench day, I figured, okay, it's the perfect time to kind of push for it. It was kind of a little birthday gift to myself, and it's such a huge confidence booster. The fact that my goal is to bench 375 pounds at this next meet, and I hit 365 for a long pause, and we're still about 6.5 weeks out, not even a full 5 weeks out, not even 5 weeks out yet. That's just really huge confidence booster for me. Then after that, we drove back home. It was like a 5-hour drive, and then had secondary squat day on Monday. It was supposed to be 4 sets of 5 with, I believe, 74%, but I actually ended up breaking it down into 6 sets of 3. And the reason I did that, guys, simply put, is because my upper back and lower back just wasn't feeling great as far as maintaining position 4 sets of 5, which makes sense since I did, wasn't a car driving for 5 hours the day before. So in order to make sure that I got all the volume in, I just broke it down into triples, but that allowed me to focus on really keeping my position efficient, because I wanted high quality reps on that secondary day. Even though it's lightweight and I could have easily just blasted through the sets of 5, I want to get the most bang for my buck out of every single rep that I do. And then yesterday, because today is Wednesday, so yesterday was Tuesday, that was my secondary bench day, we hit another bench BR, 314 pounds for a top set of 4. And that is the most I've ever hit 314 pounds for. Bench has really been blowing up this time around. And for those of you who've been asking for it, I technically a while ago, sometime last year, did a video over my current bench setup, and a lot of what I'm doing there is still applicable to now. Michael and I at some point this week are going to do an updated version of how we set up on the bench, because a lot of you have been asking for that ever since I did my video over what I do to set up for squats. You guys want something similar for the bench press, and I already technically did it for the deadlift, so I'll have I'll have the one for the squat and the one for the deadlift linked in the description box down below. But be on the lookout sometime, either later this week or next week. Mike and I will be doing a video over exactly what all we do and what cues we're thinking about when we're setting up for the bench press. But yeah, bench has been on fire. It's been amazing. But like I said, today is Wednesday. It is day 5 of the 6-day training week. It is my tertiary squat days. We've got SSB squats, just some additional volume on the legs, as well as technically like my second day of the week deadlifting, but it's my primary deadlift day, my heavy deadlift day. You guys know, if you watch, like, you know, for that Christmas deadlift party, that I hit 540 pounds at an RP of 6 2 weeks ago. That felt amazing. Come on. Oh yeah. As I mentioned in that video, I've never hit 540 pounds that easily before. But then the following week, I only worked up to 518 pounds for top single at my RP7, just because last week was a very high fatigue week in general. As I mentioned in my last video when I was in Houston, that last week was just a high fatigue week. Not for any reason other than the fact that it's just one of those weeks that was higher fatigue just due to the nature of the programming. The reality is even though I've been on top of my sleep, my eating, all my recoverable variables that I can be on top of, it's when you keep pushing, you're gonna have fatigue buildup. So what we're gonna probably do this upcoming weekend, we'll start a new block, is do like just a slight little bit of deload work, either in set reduction or percentage reduction on my back down sets, so that way we can just get a little bit more fatigue off for the final push. But that won't be until this upcoming weekend. So for today, I do still have a single RP8, and I'm hoping in the same way that squat bounced back really well this past Saturday from the Saturday before, I'm hoping that my deadlifts feel really good compared to last week, so that I can actually push for something decent for my single RP8. Even if it's not a PR, even if it's something where it's like, you know, an ability PR in the sense of, oh, I've never hit this at RP8 before, or just matching my best ever pull at a RP8, that would be amazing. But we're about to go into the gym right now, see what's there. So yeah, I think that's pretty much got you guys caught up. So I'll see you at the gym. All right, you guys just saw me knock up my 5x3 with 340 pounds. Keeping in mind the SSB squat bar is 70 pounds, so that's why it's 340 and not 315 pounds with 3 plates each side. And it felt really, really good. All I had today was pretty much 5 sets of 3, where each set should feel like no worse than RP 7.5. And for each of those, I feel like I had easily 3 reps in the tank, so RP 7. So good to go, feeling nice and warm, good additional volume for squats. And now we get to the fun part, deadlifts. Like I said, honestly, I have no clue what I'm gonna have today for my single RP8, but at this point, I have to do my best to execute and be true. And what that means is, once again, not just make sure I don't overshoot, but don't undershoot either, because at this point, we gotta have our fitness where we need to be for that final push going into the meet. Oh, one more thing that I want to point out, because people have asked me about this. So with the SSB squat, little tip, don't use the handles to help yourself. Like, a lot of people, they'll kind of like use the handles to counterbalance themselves or help kind of push up. I think that the purpose of having to work to stay in that stacked position and stay low in the quads and really use your back to stay in position kind of gets defeated if you're using the handles to help you. So I just literally am holding the handles. I'm not trying to use them one way or another to help me with my positioning. So just a quick tip for those of you who do SSB squats, unless of course, you know, your coach is telling you to use the handles for a specific reason, and also do what your coach tells you to do. But anyway, yeah, let's get into deadlifts. Alright, so you guys just saw me hit 562 pounds, which is my current comp best, and about 10 pounds over the best I ever hit. The best I ever hit was 573, and raw nats prep for last year. And man, everything was good and smooth. It's just like I'm starting to have that twisting, which, mind you, the whole reason I went to hook grip for my nats prep was to alleviate that. I've never had issues with dropping the bar or anything like that, but it's so I can stay evenly open on both sides and kind of avoid that tilt and twisting. The good thing is, since going back to mixed grip, I really haven't had that issue. Today's the first time, and I know it's just because fatigue is high. The fact that I was able to move 540 2 weeks ago at a smooth and easy RP6, and there's only 20 more pounds in that, like, I know this is not the top end of where I'm at. It's just where I'm at right now, given fatigue. So that definitely was not quite the RP8 that I wanted. And I even thought about stopping at the 550, but it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I don't want to stop here just because I'm getting in my head about the twisting. I know I've got a little bit more. And once again, Brad wanted me to push this final time before we kind of scale things back with deadlifts and then build it back up into the meet. So that didn't feel too bad. Just didn't feel as good as what I wanted, and I'm really happy with my patience above all. Like, I really stayed with it, did not quit on it, so that makes me feel very confident as far as that. Next, we've got 8 back down sets of 1 with, I believe, 460 pounds, 463, whatever the 210 kilogram conversion is. But anyway, yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so you guys saw me hit my first and last back down set, 8 sets of 1 with 82%, 210 kilograms, 403 pounds, and man, it did not feel fun today, but I'm happy because last week I wasn't even able to get through my back down sets without adjusting the load. It was lighter than this week, so that lets me know we're still in a pretty good spot. And honestly, like I said, I'm not upset with how the day went. Like, hitting my current comp best 5 weeks out under this much fatigue is definitely not bad. And I feel like it's really easy for people to get in their heads if they have some kind of off session or don't hit the numbers that they want. But as I've told you guys before, it's about big picture thinking, looking at the entire block, looking at how your train's been going the past few blocks. And it's like, it would be insane for me to sit here and start beating myself up or down myself for getting upset with how great this entire block's been going, just how this past week has been going. So I'm still in a very good spot mentally, and I know, like I said, once we kind of do this deload, get some fatigue off, and go for the final push into my meet over the next 5 weeks, I know we're going to be good to go. And the reality is, let's see, so this week I hit a 474 squat, 562 pull, and then 365 bench long pause, and that's like 1,400 pounds exactly, like 1,401 or something like that, for like a total 5 weeks out. So I know my goal of pushing to get in the mid 14s to close to 1,500 total in 5 weeks is definitely going to go down. Yeah, other than that, guys, it's one of those things where it's like I said, like, you got to roll with the punches. Fatigue is part of the game. It happens, it comes. Just take what you can when it's there, and like, don't let it get you down, man. Like I said, be rational. Look at everything and be like, okay, yeah, today sucked, but my past few days have been wonderful. That's how I'm looking at it. And also, I'm just in such a good mood for this past weekend, where, like, even if today would have gone worse, and today, even if I only would have got like 500 pounds today, like, I would have been a little concerned, like, oh, what's going on? But I think my mindset still would have been good. And like I said, I know I'm on top of every variable that I need to be. So at this point, it's just continue to be on top of those variables, continue to execute, and just kind of let the programming and my trust in Brad take care of the rest. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go leave a comment down below. Let me know what you did. If you're not, leave a comment down below. Let me know what can be better. Like the video, share, subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch you guys later.